What's up everyone, welcome to the Geico 500 Top 5 DFS Picks video for Sunday, April 23rd at Talladega Super Speedway. And as always, I'm your host, Chris Pennell. You can find me on Twitter at ChrisPennell16. And this video is presented by PrizePicks. If you guys do enjoy today's free content, make sure you leave a like down below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet done so, and ring the bell so you know if whenever our content goes live. But in today's video, we are going over general track strategy, how to approach this slate from a DFS perspective, and my top 5 favorite plays on the slate. Now, please keep in mind this video is being recorded pre-qualifying, which is very important at a track like this because place differential is basically the name of the game. So some of my thoughts and opinions on these drivers could very well end up changing, but if you want those most up-to-date thoughts, opinions, analysis, projections, you can find those over on stokastic.com, which is going to be linked down below. And if you are a first-time user over on the site, promo code SCORE can get you 50% off your first week. But anyway, as far as how we should approach this slate from a DFS perspective, place differential at these kind of track types are typically the name of the game, although sometimes Talladega is not as chaotic as Daytona, so stack the back. Maybe not be in complete full effect. Now, place differential is still going to be the main part of your lineup, but I am fine with kind of creeping more towards the front of the field in some tournament builds just to get a little bit different. Like if there's a driver starting in 12th that I think has the potential to win this race, I am fine with plugging them in some lineups. I've also seen some guys getting close to the top 5 that also run the optimal if they happen to lead some laps and win the race. So you have to account for that in tournaments, but for the most part, you are focusing on place differential just because there's so much variance and chaos with these kind of track types. That's usually the best route to go. All right, so moving on to the picks here, we'll start with number 5. And again, guys, this is really dependent on qualifying, but just looking at some of the numbers here, there's the guys that do stand out as of right now, no matter where they start. So Erik Jones, $6,700 on DraftKings, $6,800 over on FanDuel. Some of the overall best numbers at Talladega over the past few seasons. He's actually averaging the most fantasy points per race, whether it be on DraftKings or FanDuel. Has the best average finish of 9.2, one of the best running positions, one of the best driver ratings, 2 top 5s, 5 top 10s the past 6 races. Erik Jones has always been a good super speedway driver. Now, I will say his team has had absolutely zero speed so far this year, but this is actually one of the tracks that they can perform well. So I'm assuming they're going to have to try to push it here because they know this is one of their only shots to be able to get a win and advance to the playoffs. And moving on to number 4, we're looking at Michael McDowell here from Front Row Motorsports, $6,800 on DraftKings, $5,500 over on FanDuel. And a lot what I can say about Erik Jones can be applied here to Michael McDowell. Some of the overall best numbers at Talladega actually the past few seasons, averaging the second most points per race here in the second or third most FanDuel points. Average finish of 14.2. Doesn't run as well near the front as Erik Jones does typically, but he has been able to get good finishes, 2 top 5s, 3 top 10s, and overall a very good super speedway driver. And like I said, they're not going to win at a regular track more than likely, so this is one of those tracks where they can punch their ticket to the playoffs. And moving on to number 3, we have an oddly cheap Kyle Busch this week at $8,100 on DraftKings, $9,500 over on FanDuel. And while I realize the finishes aren't there for Kyle Busch at these track types, especially Talladega recently with an average finish of 21.2, he still has one of the best average running positions in the field, which means he's running near the front more than most drivers here. The problem is he only has 1 top 15 to show for it the past 6 races. And it's kind of the same old story for Kyle Busch, where he's typically running up front at these track types, but then just ends up getting caught in the mess at the end, which sometimes that's no fault of his own. And if you're looking at this year, I won't talk about Atlanta, but if we're looking at the Daytona 500, probably should have won that race before late caution came out. Then he ends up getting wrecked and finishing, I forget exactly where he finished, but he was at the front and honestly probably should have won that race. And then in the dual race leading into the Daytona 500, he was winning his duel and then ends up getting screwed as well, wrecked out. So same old story for Kyle Busch, but if he can just keep it clean here, I love this price point on both sites and he should be a contender. And before we get into our next pick, I have to mention the sponsor of the show, PrizePicks, because they do make these videos possible. And as of right now, for a new user on the site, you can use promo code AWESEMO to get a free month of Stokastic Plus Platinum in addition to a $100 deposit match bonus over on PrizePicks when you sign up. And as of right now, they are doing a special offer every day during the NBA playoffs. One PrizePicks member who places an entry will receive an additional 6-pick flex play to win $1 million. So make sure you opt in if you are selected. And 6 correct picks will get you $1 million, 5 picks, $80,000. And 4 picks, $16,000. So if you do sign up and get your free month of Stokastic Plus Platinum, you can use all of our data and tools that we have over on the website to help you make the best selections. And for more information, you can visit prizepicks.com/million. All right, so moving back over to the picks here at number 2, we're going with Keselowski, the driver of the former number 2 car, Now with number 6 with RFK. He comes in at $9,200 on DraftKings, 10-5 over on FanDuel. I personally have some action on him winning this race. He looks super strong at Atlanta, and he's super strong at every single super speedway race. And Talladega is a track that Keselowski is pretty good at. He's won here 4 times here recently. Actually, in the past 6 races, he does have a win under his belt. He's going to be up front. He's going to be continuing to leading some laps. And he typically works well with some of the Team Penske drivers like Ryan Blaney and Joey Logano, who I'm assuming are going to have some of the best cars in the field because Ford looks super strong in the last Super Speedway race, which was at Atlanta. So Brad Keselowski here, he's got good track history, great Super Speedway driver. Can he tend to cause some trouble? But you just kind of have to hope he's punting other drivers and not himself at that point. And finally, moving on to my number 1 player for the Geico 500 at Talladega Super Speedway. Pretty tough. There's lots of good drivers here that are going to contend for the win. And there's a reason all the odds are kind of jumbled together up top. I mean, there's a favorite in Joey Logano, but they're all very close. I'm going to roll with his teammate Ryan Blaney, $10,300 on DraftKings, 13-5 over on FanDuel. He's a multi-time winner here at Talladega, has won here in the past 6 races. And overall, if you're looking at his numbers, they're pretty good. I would say he's probably the best driver in the field recently at Talladega, the best running position, the best driver rating, has the second best average finish, only behind Erik Jones, some of the most fantasy points per race, and the most dominator points. And overall, just a very good plate racer. So Ryan Blaney, while there's a lot of good drivers up here, he is the one I am going to be targeting as of right now. But let's just say Joey Logano starts 20 spots further back over Blaney. I'm going to side with Joey, but that's going to be TBT as of right now. So just to recap, at number 5, we have Erik Jones, number 4, Michael McDowell, number 3, Kyle Busch, number 2, Brad Keselowski, and number 1, Ryan Blaney. But that's all I got for you guys this week. I hope you did enjoy, and if you did, make sure you like down below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet done so. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, leave those down below, and I'll be more than happy to get back to you. But I wish you all the best of luck, and I'll see you all next time.